audio video. Sip Ashok Maheshwari, Sip Ru Mataji, Sip Kumar Swami, Sip Mutkula Anand, Sip Raju, Sip Supreme Kaumudi, Sip Parvatiyama, Sip Bharat Patel, Sip Samatma, Sip Sudeep, Sip Girish, Sip Bridget, Sip Sagairaj, Sip Gaurish, Sip Lakshmi, Sip Atmatray, Sip Gautam. Welcome all of you to a beautiful Sunday evening. And there can be no more beautiful way than to spend a Sunday evening in a spiritual session, despite others thinking that we're crazy people to be on a spiritual call on a Sunday evening. The question that is up on the screen today for your kind response is it happiness our life goal? Is it happiness our life goal? Who would like to start? Isn't happiness our life goal? Yes or no? What do you think? Happiness is Shivoham?
I think this is not our life goal.
Why do you say that?
I don't know, but today I was happy, but I didn't feel that I reached my life goal.
Okay. So you are on a journey and therefore you are evolving on the journey. So what happens is most people think happiness is a life goal. Man is running behind pleasure, behind happiness, correct? So let us get everybody else's answers. Sudeep Bhargava. Sudeep Bhargava?
Yeah, Shivam sir.
Shivam, Sudeep?
Sir, happiness is one of the life goals. In fact, happiness is the true nature of the Atma as well. When we talk about Satchidanand, so Anand is one of the 3 words. So it's the true nature of our Atma. So we need happiness. Only problem is we are looking for the happiness outside. We are dependent on some external sources for my happiness. When happiness lies inside me, in fact, I am happy. So I don't have to be happy, or I don't have to look for the happiness from any external sources, but it just be happy within me.
The question still remains.
So my answer is yes, it has to be it is one of the life goals. There's no doubt about it.
Happiness is a life goal.
Yes.
So remember your answer so that I'm able to tell you the answer, why it is or should not be. Okay. Bharat Patel.
Shivam.
Shivam, welcome all those who are joining the call. Nice to have you all on a Sunday evening. Bolo Bharat.
So the happiness is one of the goal, but it's not ultimate because it's a byproduct of the main goal, which is enlightenment. The response.
Okay. You know, Bharat and Sudeep, before we continue and let others ask, give their points, you know what is the meaning of a goal? I love a definition. A goal is an end towards which efforts are directed. So we try to shoot a goal in football. We try to shoot a goal in hockey. And in cricket, the bowler, the goal is the wickets. The batsman goal is not the wicket. The batsman is sixer. He wants to hit the ball. So don't forget that goal is something that we want to achieve. But I'm just leaving this and continuing the session with Tushar. Tushar, isn't happiness our life goal? Tushar. Tushar is not yet online. Amitash. Amitash, isn't happiness our life goal? Amitash.
Shivam Master, I believe that happiness is not the life goal, because previously you have preached to us that happiness is something material. However, we are seeking towards more permanent thing, and that is enlightenment. So that should be our ultimate goal.
So we have somebody coming with a different answer. So Amitash says happiness is not a life goal. He says enlightenment is a life goal. So let us.
Master, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Master. Like if you have mentioned yesterday itself, Satchit Anand is something that we should also aim for. So I mean we should not confuse happiness with Satchit Anand. If I did not mean that. So because that is something different.
No. You don't worry about what you said is
Okay.
fine. So don't justify because
Master.
what you say is your opinion. There's nothing wrong in your opinion. But Tushar is not able to unmute. Tushar, will you try? Tushar, Bridget, isn't happiness our life goal, my dear Bridget? Tushar, please try to unmute. Isn't happiness the life goal? Bridget?
Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
ultimate life goal, because after highlightment, we become in the state of Satchitana.
Yeah, that is different. But is happiness the life goal?
High level of happiness.
So this is what even Amitash was trying to say, a little high level of happiness. But that high level of happiness is not happiness. So we will understand. We will understand what is the meaning of making happiness a goal. Then we are running a race to become an ace, and we want to achieve that happiness all the time. I want to be happy. 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 Can you want happiness? Can you get happiness by wanting happiness? So this is the question. Isn't happiness the life goal? No doubt everybody wants to be happy. We'll take another 2-3 minutes and then we'll try to analyze. Who else would like to try? Kiran, Ru Mataji.
Shom Sarji.
After Ru Mataji, Ashok Nichani. Ru Mataji, बोलिए.
पहले अशोक जी को बोलने दीजिए कोई
पहले
ना
अशोक निचानी जी, पहले आप बोलिए. Ashok Nichani, unmute. Isn't happiness the life goal?
सर जी
Ashok, हाँ बोलो Ashok. Your video is off, doesn't matter, but you can speak and you can try to switch on your video as you talk. हाँ बोलो Ashok, I can see you now. Ashok Nichani.
are you able
Shivam,
to hear
bolo.
me sir ji
Yes, I'm able to hear you and see you. Please tell me.
Shom sir
Shivam.
ji my audio is
It's perfect. Please speak,
able to
Ashok. We can hear you. Please speak.
Shom yeah happiness is not our goal.
Okay.
It's
Why it is?
nirvana and moksha.
Okay. So happiness is not your goal. Nirvana and moksha is the life goal. Okay. But people are saying that nirvana and moksha is happiness. But let us come to that point. Bridget said highest level of happiness. So Bridget is talking Satchit Anand happiness. So let us get some more opinions. Tushar, were you able to unmute yourself, Tushar? Ru Mataji. And also then Tushar. Ru Mataji.
Guruji pranam. Guruji,
Pranam.
how are you? First tell me, how are you?
How do I look to be?
Okay,
How do I look?
you look grand, very good. But you are really all right.
I am perfect.
Okay, God bless.
Acha, बोलिए अभी.
Guruji, I feel everybody wants happiness, but the
हाँ.
happiness which we get from contentment and satisfied life, that is the true happiness. We should not, the happiness we get from achievements and getting materialistic, collecting things, that is temporary and transient.
So the question still remains. Isn't happiness our life goal? The question is very clear.
It is then our life goal when we are having eternal happiness. Otherwise, not.
So I will reveal something very special today. Once you all finish telling me what you all want to tell me. Girish.
Happiness is something which comes and goes. Cannot be life goal.
Cannot be
The
life.
life goal can be to attain eternal happiness, which is not disturbed by visible miseries or joy.
So You are saying the life goal is not that happiness that comes and goes. You are saying life goal is for eternal happiness. Correct? Am I? Did I
Yes.
understand right?
Yes.
Okay.
And to lead a life, and that Ananda is not disturbed by visible sufferings or joyful circumstances.
Okay. So let us
Irrespective
get
of the
into.
experiences, that Ananda should sustain. Irrespective of the experience of the mind,
Yeah.
the state should continue.
Okay. So let us analyze a little bit more. I'm waiting to see any. Tushar, are you going to try to unmute, Tushar? Tushar? We can hear you. Tell me, Tushar. Okay. So Tushar has an issue. So, my dear friends, let us jump into it. And then you can ask questions, right? You can ask any number of questions for the next 20, 25 minutes. Isn't happiness our life goal? Most people want to chase happiness. Most people are running behind happiness. You know why? Because they think happiness comes from a product. They think happiness comes from a person. They think happiness comes from a place. I will be happy if I go to New York. No, you'll never be happy. The moment you go to New York, you will have some reason to be unhappy. I will be happy if I get a pizza. Yeah, you eat 3 pizzas and you are becoming unhappy. Otherwise, if pizza gives you happiness, you should eat 3 pizzas. No, you can't eat 3 pizzas. More than 1 pizza will make you unhappy. The point is this: isn't happiness our life goal? My dear friends, the moment we are chasing happiness means we don't even know the meaning of happiness. The moment you chase happiness, you cannot. Happiness is not a state of becoming. Happiness is a state of being. That happiness which I will become happy if I am with so and so. That is not a true happiness. I will become happy if I do like this and this. That is not happiness. That is just pleasure. That is momentary pleasure. And momentary pleasure will only come and go. Therefore, the question was tricky today. Isn't happiness our ultimate goal? The answer is no. The ultimate goal is enlightenment. And in that state of enlightenment, Bridget, we will experience Satchit Anand. We will experience happiness. Happiness will be a byproduct. Happiness will manifest automatically. What Girish said, happiness will flow. Happiness will flow to those who realize this is just a show. But those who chase, trying to become an ace, get caught in the maze. They will never be happy. So this call is very important. We should draw. None of us in this call should make happiness a goal. We should learn the art of being happy, moment by moment. Can you be happy in the now? Make a vow to be happy in the now. Be happy in this moment. How easily we lose our happiness. Somebody is with us, somebody says something nonsense, and they steal our happiness. Somebody's presence itself, just their presence, can rob our happiness. The way they walk, the way they talk, the way they do anything. Why should anybody be able to steal our happiness? Because we are not in that state of consciousness. We are not in that state of ananda. My dear friends, please change your goal to realizing you are the divine soul. The moment you realize that my goal is to realize I am the divine soul, happiness will flow to you. Happiness is like a shadow. The more you chase happiness, the further it will go away. You cannot, that's why the question was tricky. Isn't happiness our ultimate goal? Happiness is never a goal. That is why this world is unhappy. Why this world is unhappy? Because this world doesn't understand there will be day and night. Correct? Just like there will be day and night, there will be pleasure and pain, sun and rain, loss and gain, again and again. This is how samsara is. You cannot have only sun. The moment there's a lot of sun, there will be rain. A lot of pleasure, there will be pain. After loss, there will be gain. This is called the law of cycles. This is just like you have the law of karma. There's another law called the law of cycles. Everything in this world is cyclic. It all goes round and round. But Sat Chit Anand is not cyclic. It is eternal happiness. What Girish told, we want that state of eternal happiness. But the goal is not happiness. The goal is consciousness. When we reach that state of consciousness, then there is bliss. Over to you. I would like to ask you all to ask me more questions. Today we've been having very intense discussions in the last few days. Let us get into some interesting question answers about happiness, about life, about purpose. Amitash wants to ask one more question. Yes, Amitash.
Master, like how to deal with anxiety.
Little louder, please.
Master, how to deal with anxiety.
How to live with anxiety.
No, I'll repeat. How to deal with anxiety. How to deal with it.
I'm not able to hear. Anybody able to hear? How to deal with anxiety.
How to deal with it. Yes, Master. Yes.
How to deal with anxiety. To understand what is anxiety. First, what is anxiety? Anxiety is when the rascal mind takes a thought and repeats that thought again and again. When the rascal mind tells you COVID, 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 Omicron, 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 you will die, you will die, you will die, you will die, you will die. This creates stress, creates the repeated bombardment of thoughts, creates anxiety. That is why when you go to sleep, Amitash, when you have sound sleep in the night, are you anxious? There is no anxiety because the mind is sleeping. The moment you wake up in the morning, you get anxious. Anxiety, the way to deal with anxiety is to slow down your pace, is to be silent, is to spend time in spiritual life, is to try to live a life of consciousness. So this is the way. You know why we get anxious? Because we are seeking something which is meaningless. We are chasing shadows. We are trying to find happiness in things which are not going to give us eternal happiness. This creates anxiety. We set, Amitash, sometimes in the modern world, you set very high goals. You set very high goals and you're not able to reach that goal. You become anxious. Or you make a commitment to some people and you're not able to meet that commitment. You become anxious. There's so many reasons you become anxious, but it's all to do with the mind. The mind is driving you and making you a slave. The mind is making you a ghoda. Huh? So you want to be the horse or you want to be the boss? We spoke about it. If you want to be the horse, then you will have anxiety. The mind will whip you and whip you and whip you. But if you tell the mind, stop, I am the boss. I will do what I want, the way I want, when I want. Then you will be peaceful. So is there a particular anxiety you want to talk about, Amitash? I can go further.
Master, like you answered mostly, but like career, like job and all, like being successful in job and all.
Unfortunately, your voice is not very clear, Amitash. We are not able to hear you clearly.
Okay, Master, Master, am I audible now?
Now you can, yeah, now I can hear you. Tell me.
Yes, Master. Yes, Master. You mastered. First of all, thank you so much. You answered like mostly what I was like confused about. And Master, the particular anxiety that I want to talk about is like job anxiety, not being able to do what is required in job. Basically, you can say incompetence. So
let me tell you. Incompetence in job is just is again to do with the mind. The mind is trying to make you do more than you can do or want to do or capable of doing. You don't need to. You don't need this. The problem is the mind. Today, there are so many psychiatric problems in the world. The mental illness has become one of the biggest illness in the world today. You know why? Because the mind is forcing us to do things which we don't want to do, which we should not do, we are not capable of doing. The mind is pushing us beyond a point. But the question, Amitash, is why? So I have something to tell you which is very interesting, and then you can talk to me later. I told myself once, if you are not getting a kick out of the job that you're doing, if you are not getting a kick out of the job that you're doing, then you better kick it and find something else to do. Then you better kick it. If you're not getting a kick out of the job, you better kick it. Remember this, do what you love what you do, and there will be no stress. Don't let job be a job. Enjoy what you do. You will be best at it. So I think you may be doing the wrong thing, Amitash. It's time for you to reflect. If you
Master.
do
Thank you so
something,
much, Master, and I apologize for taking so much time.
No, if you do something you love, you can do it 24 hours a day and you will be a champion in it. Find out what you love to do and do that. Thank you.
Okay, Master.
Atmatrai.
Okay, thank you so much, Master.
Thank you.
Shivam, sir.
Shivam.
Shivam. I want to know that the supreme immortal power and Brahma described in Upanishads are the same, or there is some difference?
All same, no, Atmatrai. They just they have to give some name. Why we have given this name SIP? Why we gave this name? Because the moment they tell you Brahma, you start thinking, who is this Brahma? Is it same as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva? Is it that Brahma or some other Brahma? So a lot of people are confused. A lot of people are thinking. Lot of people are thinking that Brahma of the Upanishads is the same as Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, because they're also Brahma. That Brahma is the creator, and there's no Brahma temple in the world. People are wondering why there's no Brahma temple in the world. Lot of Vishnu temples, lot of Shiva temples. Why there's no Brahma temple in the world? So this confusion. But your answer to your question, Brahman, it's called Brahman, B-R-A-H-M-A-N, Brahman in the Upanishads. That is nothing but SIP, supreme immortal power. We found a beautiful name where no sensible person will confuse the meaning of SIP. SIP is very easy to understand. What is SIP? SIP is the supreme immortal power. Very easy to understand. SIP is in you, SIP is in me, SIP is everywhere.
Sir, explaining that Brahman is in every atom.
Yes. Here you must pay attention to two very important things. Recently we wrote a bhajan just yesterday, and I hope I can send you. It says first, Ishwara. Ishwara made the Panch Tattva. 5 tattvas means the 5 elements.
Yes.
Earth, air, water, fire, and space. Every molecule of matter, every element of matter is nothing but SIP, appearing as a molecule of matter. But the molecule of matter like mountains, oceans, rivers, clouds, they don't have Atma. They don't have soul. From the Tattva, from the Panch Tattva, the SIP put Atma and created life. That is a higher power than the Tattva. So I hope I've answered what you're trying to. So therefore, everything is SIP. Everything is SIP. One SIP is inanimate, non-living. Mountains, the earth is inanimate. But one SIP is life, Atmatrai, a pony, a dog, a horse. These are all animate. They have got Atma in it. Okay, clear, right?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Thank you.
Very nice answer.
Bharat Patel.
Yes, Shivam, Guruji.
Shivam, Bharat.
I want to ask one question. One confused me sometime. Sometime without any reason, we get happiness from inside, and everything looks nice. And sometime without any reason, we feel like down. What is the reason? What can you give me elaboration of that? Because sometimes it is difficult to control the mind also. Without any reason why I'm getting sad, and you feel like, you like depression, something like that.
So there are various reasons. One of the reasons, a human being is a complex of a body, mind, ego complex. So Bharat, sometimes you may become happy because of the chemicals in the body. Suppose there's dopamine, there's serotonin. There are some chemicals that are being released in your body depending on what you are eating. Or so there are reasons that you can become happy even for that. But these are momentary. Bharat, this is not something permanent. You may feel happiness because of the chemical reaction. You may feel unhappy also because of a chemical reaction. So this is one aspect. The second aspect, even without your realizing, the mind may create a subconscious thought without your realizing that subconscious happiness and that subconscious unhappiness is also possible. The third aspect is the ego. Again, sometimes we may not be conscious about it, but the ego may see somebody and become happy, or see somebody and become angry. So this is all part of the natak of being the BME, the body, mind, and ego. However, when we are in the state of consciousness, when we are in the state of chit, chidananda rupa, shivoham shivoham. I just sent you that video. I think you asked for that Nirvana Shatkam. I sent you that video. So the point is, can we be in that state of consciousness? In that state of consciousness, we will not feel this sudden burst of happiness and unhappiness because we become conscious. When are we feeling this? When we are not in a state of consciousness. Then the BME takes over. But the moment you are in a state of consciousness, even if the body is releasing those negative hormones, you will not become poisonous because you are in a state of chitta. Then you are above the body. So you are right, these feelings come. But when you slowly become conscious, these feelings will go. They will not remain. Thank you. Tushar, can you hear? Can we speak now, Tushar?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
bolo,
Now
Tushar.
I'm good.
Tell
Sir,
me.
I have a question, sir. That, sir, can one get moksha by the grace of God without enlightenment, sir?
Tell me how. Tell me
Sir,
what you understand. What is the
suppose, sir,
meaning? Yeah.
sir, one person is chanting the God. He think that the name itself, the name Govinda or the Ram, the one name is the God. He chants from morning to evening. But he does not accept anything from the God, but he wanted to be unite with the God. He wants liberation. So can he get, sir, without the
So
enlightenment?
let me explain to you the process. Okay. Suppose you are singing Govinda, 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 full day, 24 hours. This is called bhakti. Bhakti mein hai shakti. That bhakti can create in you a spark to meet a guru or to read a book. It will take you on the path of enlightenment. There is no magic show. The bhakti will create bhakti yoga. The bhakti will connect you to the divine, supreme. In some way, bhakti is very powerful. Bhakti is very, very, very powerful. But automatically, bhakti has got no magic. Bhakti mein hai shakti, jisse milegi mukti. Remember this. Bhakti mein hai shakti. वो शक्ति से मिलेगी मुक्ति. Tushar, you understand Hindi, no?
Yes, sir.
So don't expect any magic show. Bhakti is very powerful. So don't underestimate bhakti, but understand that you cannot jump from, then everybody will be sitting in the temple from morning to night. Everybody will only chanting, whole world will be chanting. Only by chanting, it's not going to give you moksha, not going to give. You need to evolve on the path. You need to move forward, that yoga, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. We spoke about prema yoga. Any yoga, you need to be a yogi. Unless you are a yogi. Yogi jo yog mein sada hi rahe, prabhu ke Yog mein rahe. You must be yogi. But just being a yogi is not enough. From that yogi, there must be mukti. You must overcome ignorance. You must realize the truth. That is the way to do it.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
Tushar. Thank you. Supreme immortal power, Kaumudi. How to tame the ego. One time we think we are egoless, and one time we see who has won over us. How to make. See, Kaumudi, the way to tame the ego, let go of it. The only way to tame the ego is to let go, is to realize I am not I. So, Kaumudi, the answer comes in realization. What is the realization? The realization is I am not I. When the realization comes, Arey Kaumudi, suppose tomorrow somebody comes and tells you, hi Biba. So what is Biba? No, you are wearing Biba dress, so you are Biba. No, the dress is Biba. I am not Biba. No, but the dress is written Biba written here. Or some people they wear more. The Western people they wear the brand here. But see what's it written here? I think it's written Calvin Clean. What is it called? Calvin Clean. Somebody come and told me, hi, Mr. Calvin Clean. I am not Calvin Clean. No, but your shirt is written Calvin Clean. No. My shirt is Calvin Clean. So Kaumudi, I am not Kaumudi. Kaumudi is the body. I am in Kaumudi. I am sip. I am the sip in Kaumudi. The moment you realize that, how can the ego come back? When the ego comes back, it only means you have not yet realized. The moment you realize it, suppose you realize that your child has moved from one school to another school. Your child has moved from one school to another school. The next day, will you go back to the old school? You cannot, because you realize, no, my child is already gone. It is no more. You don't have to. You can't forget it. You have already realized the child has moved. So the realization is something which is, when once you realize it, you don't have to memorize it because you realize it. So that is the way, my answer to you, let go of the ego. Let go. And when you drop the ego, don't pick it up again. What's the problem we do? We drop the ego like a jacket on the sofa. Again, after we are going out of the house, again, we carry the ego, we carry the jacket. So learn so what is the best way? Look at what I did. What did I do to drop my ego? You know what I did? I gave up my name only. I gave up my name only. People say Ravi, I turn back. Who's Ravi? I don't know who's Ravi. Sometimes people call me Ravi, I don't reply. I don't know who's Ravi. I'm AiR. I'm the Atma in Ravi. I'm not Ravi. Ravi is dead. Ravi is no more. So that is the way. Bridget, yesterday I had a discussion about good and evil in relation to the 10 commandments. How to explain that it is only the law of God? Is it true? Is it part of golden path of samsara? Where you had discussion good and evil? You had discussion of good and evil with me or with somebody else?
Somebody else.
You were talking to
Yes.
somebody about good and evil in relation to 10 commandments. How to explain that is only laws of God? Okay, see, Bridget, the 10 commandments, very simple, right? Thou shalt be happy, thou shalt be free, thou shalt not be miserable. So when you try to talk to people, even in French, it's very easy to turn to French, right? But you ask them, you want to be happy, you want to be unhappy? Obviously anybody want to be happy. So we make them realize the importance. The moment we make it look like it is somebody else telling them to do, there is a resistance. They don't want to follow. So you ask them the question. This is golden path. Is this a part of golden path of samsara? You ask them, would you like to be miserable? There's a play, no, less miserable. There's a drama, there's a theater, Broadway theater, I think. No? Less miserable, some theater play. So the point is, you try to make people understand, why should you be miserable? You let somebody make you miserable, somebody who you love, and they make you a monkey, and they hurt you, and they say wrong things to you, and you become unhappy. Why? Life is short. What is the purpose of life? Why are we alive? Why we came to this earth? Not to be unhappy. And how can they be happy? Eternal happiness. Not this, not temporary, one moment, one day happiness. You know, sometimes the boy says, if I marry the girl, I become happy. No, you marry the girl, you have after marrying the girl, you're waiting for divorce because you're so unhappy in the marriage. What is the use? So let you tell the 10 commandments, let the people decide. Yes, it is good. We want to follow. Let them follow. Okay? You don't force them to follow. Tell them,
No.
I am following. Tell them, I am following. If you want to follow, you follow. You don't want to follow, no problem. Okay.
Thank you.
Next question. Thank you. Next question.
Sir, I have one more question, sir.
Yes, Tushar.
Sir, how to deal happiness and sadness in the same way, sir? How to be same in the both the situation?
By realizing this world is just a show, Tushar. Tushar, why are we becoming happy and unhappy, Tushar? We are becoming, if you say something good to me, I'm happy. You say something bad to me, I'm unhappy. But this is all a drama, no? In the end of the day, if we realize this life is just a show, we are actors who come and go, why would we be unhappy? In the Upanishads, they call it Raga Dvesha. Raga Dvesha means don't try to be too happy and don't try to be too unhappy. We are our life. That's the whole idea of what we are talking about. We are saying we want to be in a state of consciousness. We want to be in that state of Sat Chit Anand. You know why we come on this call every day? We come on this call every day just like we eat food every day. Why we eat food every day? We eat food every day because if we don't eat food, we don't have the nourishment, we will fall sick. We come on this call because we don't want to be spiritually sick. We come on this call because we want to have spiritual nourishment. We want to live a life not as BME, body, mind, ego. So easily we fall prey. We become a slave of the body, the mind, the ego. How many of you have wasted the day today? How many of you think that today was the best day of your life? For me, it was the best day of my life. For me, it was the best day of my life. I made it the best day of my life. Every moment I was in consciousness of the divine. I was living in Ananda. How many of you can say today was the best day of your life? If you cannot say, you know what it means? You lost 40 minutes of bliss. You just lost a day of happiness. My dear friend.
Ravi, can you guide me whether it's okay to really say Krishna, Krishna, Prabhu, Prabhu, when you meditate as such, you concentrate on your on sip. After a while, then Prabhu, Krishna, Krishna, because is it all right or no?
I would prefer you say Prabhu than Krishna, because the moment you say Krishna, the image of Krishna comes in front of you. That's not good to do. But Prabhu has no image. You agree Prabhu has no image?
Yes, I agree.
So try to use the name of the divine without an image. Because the moment you use an image, the mind will try to take you back to the Krishna Burama, Krishna Janma Bhumi, and the temple that's being built in Kashi and Ayodhya, and the mind goes away somewhere. We should not let the mind go to name and form. Saying
Okay.
Prabhu, Prabhu is fine, but we must be lost in meditation where we reach the divine state of consciousness. The goal is to get into the state of consciousness. Okay, so I just realized the administrator is telling me that the bell is ringing, that we are reaching the time to log off. So
Okay,
tomorrow,
sorry, Krishna.
no. So tomorrow we continue at 8 and questions. I'm here to answer every single question, but we don't want to keep people specifically on a Sunday evening. So I bow down to you and we'll see you tomorrow at 8.
Thank you.